How you doing, folks? And I haven't left out here at the VA yet. And the reason for that is you've been following along here on the website about these gentlemen and these ladies that have joined the Honor Squad. And I found a few of them that I've been able to corral and ask them their feelings and thoughts about why they joined and how they heard about the Honor Squad and things of this nature. And I've got in front of me Mr. Jim Groves. He is a retired E6 from the Army Reserve. He served from 69 to 75. And I served from 72 to 75, Jim. So we were right there together. What did you do in the Army?
It wasn't very glorious. I was a spoon, a cook.
Oh, a cook. I have to ask you now, before I forget. My mind will walk out on me sometimes. Did you know a Spec 6 Tupelo when you were in the Army?
No.
Because he was in at the same time I was in, so your paths may have crossed. Now the reason I ask you that, and you'll get a kick out of this, up in the Putnam Library, they've got an Elvis Presley display up there. Have you ever been up there?
I have not.
When you walk by Elvis's uniform and stuff, they've got a little voice box built in there, and of course he speaks out to you, says a couple of things. But the reason I brought that up is in 74, or maybe 73, my whole division, 4th Infantry, was downrange on a field training exercise. And I got detailed to drive the mess hall truck down. I was supposed to graduate from Red Eye Gunnery School on that exercise. But the first sergeant called me in and said, "Maynard, I got a problem." Now, we all know when first sergeants do that, it ain't his problem no more, it's our problem.
Yeah, you just volunteered.
Yes. So, to make the long story short, he said to me, he said, "I'll send you TDY to Fort Hood, Texas to finish your red eye training." He said, "They're going to pay you 20 bucks a day extra TDY pay to go down there and do that." He says, "So that's a plus." He said, "But the biggest plus is you've already had all the training, so you'll just go down there and it'll be escape time for you." He says, "But I really need you to drive this mess hall truck down range. You're the only guy in the company that's got a deuce and a half driver's license." I said, "Okay, Sarge." Well, we got down range and we log her in for the first night, and I hear this harmonica off in the distance. So I track it down because I've always wanted to play the harmonica and the guitar. And I come upon Spec 6 Tupelo. He was the head cook. And I asked him about the harmonica and stuff, and he told me a little bit. Well, it turned out Spec 6 Tupelo taught Elvis Presley how to play the harmonica. Spec 6 Tupelo taught Private Maynard how to play the harmonica back in that day. So that's one of my claims to fame for that. And then asked me about how the immersion heater blew my eyelids off and all my hair off sometime. I know you can picture that one. But so you heard about this thing, you heard about the Honor Squad. How?
Actually, it was at the VFW post that I belonged to, 8312 in Beaver Creek.
Okay.
Several of the guys were talking about it and said, "You know, there is no Honor Squad." And so the meeting was right around the 3rd of May, I think, when we came out. And they said they bury 1,000 a year out here and only 10% get honors.
Yeah.
And that's if they belong to a VFW or American Legion post, and that post comes out to do the honors, then they get the honors. But other than that, nobody does. That's
Sad.
That's sad for a national cemetery. So I said to the boys, I said, "You know, I think maybe that's something I should try to do." So I said, "I'll go along with you and check it out." So we came out here. That's how we ended up here.
You come out to the first meeting and you just, yeah, that's pretty awesome. You know, it's, I can't say nothing else. It's just awesome, Jim. Thank you for your service that you did as a cook.
Thanks for your service.
Well, you're welcome. I was in tanks. I was in the armor division.
I knew you were in armor. hammer, so I assume you were in Fort Knox as I was.
Well, I went through boot at Fort Knox, but I went through AIT at Fort Carson.
Okay.
So, and that's where I met Spec Sec Tubalo at Fort Carson, so.
See, I did my basic in Knox and my MOS in Knox. There was
Yeah.
only 2 cook schools at that time, Dix and Knox.
Ah. You know what my favorite meal was?
SOS?
You hit it right on the head, buddy. SOS, that was, and Tubalo and his crew of guys made one hell of a bunch of SOS.
But I like the real deal. I don't care for the SOS made out of hamburger. I want real chip beef.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Tubalo, sometime he could get the chip beef, but
Yes.
most of the time it was out of the hamburger. But either or, I liked the SOS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it, and the coffee wasn't bad. I don't know if I was too impressed with it after I figured out how they made it. I'll do a quick story. You know how Tubalo made his coffee? 10-gallon pot on top of the stove, brought the water to a boil.
Threw the whole can of coffee in it.
And went
then
until it boiled to the
when it
top.
boiled, you add a little cold water. It's called hobo coffee.
Yeah.
We used to
called
do it out
mud.
on the range.
Yeah, you remember calling it mud back in the day?
Well, when you throw the cold water in, the ground settles to the bottom.
Oh, I didn't know that, because
Yeah.
Tubalo scooped his off.
Well,
Yeah.
we put the cold water in, and it made it sink to the bottom, and that was hobo coffee.
Wow. See, I just learned something new.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome.